Hello, I'm Pablo Cure, Program Officer for the Division of Clinical Innovation at NCATS and Scientific Point of Contact for the High Impact Specialized Innovation Programs FOA. Today, I will be presenting an overview and provide technical assistance on how to apply to this funding opportunity announcement. The content of this presentation has been developed in collaboration with our colleagues from Grants Management and Scientific Review as well as Program. During the presentation, we are encouraging those in the audience with questions to submit them to the CTSA FOA mailbox at ctsafoaquestions@mail.nih.gov. When submitting your questions regarding this FOA, please specify that your question is about the RC2, and that way it will help us expedite locating and answering questions. We will try to answer as many questions submitted as possible at the end of the presentations. It is important to note that those questions that are institution specific will not be answered during the webinar and should be submitted through your NCATS program officer and or to the FOA email provided. As with other companion FOAs presented today, the goal of this presentation is to provide highlights and areas of emphasis and go through some questions at the end of the presentation. It is important to note that applicants should carefully review the FOA and any related notices before applying. Here is an overview of what we will be covering in this presentation today. The purpose of the High Impact Specialized Innovation Programs, or SIPs, is to support the development and demonstration of unique hub capabilities, research platforms, and/or resources to address in a timely manner critical gap areas and/or roadblocks in clinical and translational science at awarded UM1 Clinical and Translational Science Award Program hubs. Successful programs supported through this funding opportunity are expected to lay a strong foundation for future adoption and/or dissemination of capabilities to additional CTSA program hubs. Within the new suite of FOAs, the SIPs are envisioned as part of the current innovation ecosystem, specifically to support the generation of research resource and/or foster discovery-based or hypothesis-generating science that can have a significant impact in clinical and translational science. The goal is to support novel approaches in areas that address scientific knowledge gaps, scientific opportunities, new technologies, platforms, data generation, or novel research methods that will advance clinical and translational science and research at CTSA UM1 hubs or possibly beyond. These resources, activities, and/or expertise supported through the RC2 mechanisms are expected to be available to enhance the development and demonstration activities or projects within a UM1 hub. Examples of areas of interest for SIPs include telehealth, regulatory science, clinical informatics, genetics and genomics, pragmatic trials, dissemination and implementation science, rural health, health disparities, community outreach and engagement, and other areas of need for specialized programs. Through the SIPs, a UM1 hub should address one or more of the following objectives: groundbreaking, innovative, high-impact, and cross-cutting research resources and/or activities that address one or more of the CTSA program goals. Programs in clinical and translational science that could fundamentally enhance the research enterprise and require participation, interaction, coordination, and integration of activities within that UM1 hub and possibly beyond, or the creation of a large-scale unique resource or transformative technologies or platforms to benefit a wide range of projects or activities locally. And finally, high-impact discovery-based and hypothesis-generating science. For this FOA, only new applications and resubmissions will be allowed. The funding of a meritorious RC2 will be contingent upon the funding of the parent UM1. Applicants must follow the Research R instructions in the SF 424 application guide. Here are some key points regarding eligibility. Only the primary UM1 hub institution is eligible to apply to the RC2 FOA. Only applicants who submit a companion CTSA UM1 Hub application or have received a UM1 award to PAR 21293 are eligible to apply to this RC2 FOA. RC2 applications will only be awarded if there is a funded UM1 application from the RC2 applicant institution. Also, no more than 2 RC2 applications may be submitted by a UM1 Hub recipient at a given time. And no more than 2 RC2 projects will be awarded at a given time. Of note, applicants should not submit additional applications until a funding decision is made regarding those under consideration. If, for example, a UM1 and 1 RC2 have been awarded, the applicant may submit 1 additional RC2 application. Resubmission of an RC2 application without the required UM1 application is only allowed if the companion UM1 application is funded. Finally, collaborations with other components of the CTSA UM1 Hub and/or with institutions listed as partners and collaborators are encouraged. Also, collaborations with other CTSA UM1 hubs and with non-CTSA institutions are encouraged. The principal investigator or contact PI must be employed by an or a recipient of funding from a currently funded CTSA program UM1 hub prime institution as defined above in the eligible organizations for the RC2. Investigators who are not employed by an or a recipient of funding from a CTSA program UM1 hub institution, but who wish to co-lead a SIP, can co-direct in partnership with a contact PI who is employed by a currently funded CTSA UM1 hub institution by using the multiple PI-PD option. In the research strategy, applicants should address the following key points. Critical need or gap area to be addressed. Here, applicants should describe the program uniqueness and the gap area in CTS that is being solved and which addresses one or more of the CTSA program goals. Applicants should also include program milestones. These would be in the form of a table with key short-term and long-term milestones to be achieved throughout the RC2 program period. Program evaluation and sustainability plan is another requirement. Clear plan to evaluate the success and impact of the proposed program based on predetermined milestones and SIP utilization will be required to be included in the application. Application budgets for the RC2 are limited to no more than $500,000 a year in direct costs. It is recommended that the PI devotes at least 1 to 2 person months in effort to the project. RC2 budgets should include travel expenses for appropriate personnel and up to 3 people to attend a yearly in-person meeting to present the RC2 progress, lessons learned, and impact. The requested project period for an RC2 may be up to 5 years. The following applications will be deemed non-responsive and will not be reviewed. This includes applications that propose clinical trials, feasibility or pilot projects, individual pilot projects, dissemination and implementation of novel resources and activities at other hubs, ancillary studies or research that is logical extension of ongoing work, core or related services to supplement the budgets of existing UM1 efforts, or applications with studies with a major emphasis outside of the NCAT's strategic plan and the goals of the CTSA program. Each RC2 application must include a UM1 and RC2 coordination and integration plan describing the coordination, integration, synergy, and mutual reinforcement of resources between the UM1 and the RC2. Applications that do not include this attachment will not be reviewed. Incomplete applications will not be reviewed, which includes applications that do not include the following: program milestones, program evaluation and sustainability plan, letter of support from the UM1 PI, and the UM1 and RC2 coordination and integration plan. The following 3 slides are applicable to all the FOAs discussed today, including the training and career development FOAs, as well as the RC2. This includes the SCORE review criteria, which is standard for NIH, including significance, investigators, innovation, approach, and environment, as well as additional review criteria and additional review considerations such as resource sharing plans and budget and period of support. It is important that applicants pay special attention to specific review criteria contained in each of the FOAs. Applications will be evaluated for scientific and technical merit by an appropriate scientific review group convened by NCATS. All applications will receive a written critique. The following will be considered in making funding decisions. This includes scientific technical merit of the application, availability of funds, and the relevance to program priorities. These are the important dates that are applicable to all the FOAs discussed today, including the application due dates, review, and award cycles, which follow the same cycles as the UM1 FOA. The first application due date is January 26th of 2022. These are the RC2 FOA contacts, including scientific, peer review, and grants management. And some additional resources, including the link to the High Impact Specialized Innovation Program FOA, and a link to the website for updates regarding the UM1 and companion FOAs.